I'm gonna tell you a story about how to not go on the blind date. No shade to anyone, no shade to anyone. This is just my experience, first and last. Okay, so I'm 22 and I already have a great job. I found myself a place in this world. I have my house, I'm paying my bills, blah 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 blah. I'm not starving, which is like amazing. And my work was, I'm gonna tell you more about this later, but my work was literally very strictly correlated with fashion at one point. So I'm like, okay, cool, perfect. We had a lot of buyers from all around the world, so you know that I'm speaking a lot of languages, so it's kind of helpful because usually Italian people just kind of don't speak in English or kind of don't know 2-3 different languages, and I had like the beautiful possibility to speak in like 5 languages. So I'm like, give that work to me, bring me money. Okay, so I found one of the girls that was used to work with me at the expos, fashion expos, very interesting. So we started to talk and we kind of, you know, bond, and we continued to be friends, and we continued to be friends for like half a year or something. At one point she's like, oh my god, you have no idea. And I'm like, I don't, you have to tell me. And she's like, one of my friends said that his friend is very interested in me, so he's trying to make us like go out on the blind date. I'm like, hopefully it's not a serial killer. I'm so sorry, my dark humor just goes in and out. So no offense to anyone. So basically she's like, you know, but I'm very shy on the first date, I might say something bad, so just, can you just accompany me? I'm like, I would feel like an idiot just standing there and waiting for him to say something and maybe translate it to you, like translate it. And she's like, no, but I asked him to bring a friend. So I'm like, okay. I felt like, you know, someone is just like dumping me in the situation that I want to be in, and I was single at that point, and I was just like, you know what, I have everything that I wanted, I have everything on point, I don't need anyone. But she's like, okay, just bear with me this time, and please, this is something that I will request in you a lot. So I'm like, not bad, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm like, okay, before anything, rules. First rule, only in a public place, and it has to be a place in which like we know that this place is somewhere that we actually been to before, so we know how to escape. Okay. And the second, you tell them to come at 9, and you tell one of your friends to call you at 11 and say that the grandma feels very bad. Okay, so in case this guy is maniac or I don't know, some freak or something, we have like this kind of excuse, you know, to just like say, oh my god, the grandma is dead, or the grandma feels bad, or something something something, and just like, you know, just like escape from the situation and don't make them feel like, you know, oh, you cheated us into this situation, etc. Just, you know, just to, I'm sorry to say that, but I just don't want to say to a guy, oh, I'm going to the bathroom, and then just disappear. Not that I care, because I'm that kind of bitch, but you know, it's just like she was involved, and I was just like, if it was for me, but she was involved, so I'm like, okay, this time very nice. Okay, cool, perfect. So we choose the name, we choose the place, we choose everything is on point, and I'm like, okay, tell him to bring the white rose so we can recognize him. At least if he is ugly, we can see the guy and see if, sorry to say, I'm so sorry to say that, everyone, but sometimes like I don't say it for me, but I want my friend to just be with a great guy, maybe not the supermodel, but you know, the guy that is nice, like nice looking, at least that chap. let's not shit on each other. Everybody wants a nice looking guy, okay? Maybe other people are like throwing themselves on people who have only money and then no appearance, but we in Italy, we just tend to go out with handsome guys. That's about it. So, not that handsome, like, how to say it? We in Italy, usually, we tend to go with the guys that we like, not with the guys that, oh, if he doesn't have money or amazing car, I will not even look at him. We don't care, because at the end of the story, I think it's correlated with women in Italy are emancipated at that point, that they are like, I just going to, you know, it's good to have a gentleman in front of me, but if I don't like you physically, I'm not going, I will just not go out with you. Okay, we are going inside, 9 p.m. we are going inside to the place, and we are starting to look around. No one, literally no one was having this motherfucking white rose. What do? We sit down. I was hungry as usual, so we are ordering food, etc., and we are waiting for these guys. After some time, we are just like eating, and suddenly my friend, she's like, oh, look at these losers. And I'm like, I was literally, you know, with spaghetti in my mouth, and I'm like, whoo, whoo. And she's like, oh, these two losers. And literally, if picture the situation, two guys, like, you know, like Bee Gees from the 70s, but very, very old. This like look of Latin lover, but like around 70 years old Latin lover. Like hair was like more gel than hair up there. And you know, this like super patchy Versace, this sheer, like this, how to say it? Shirt? Yeah, shirt. And open till here, and then the ship going out of the chest, and on this ship this 5 kilos of gold of chain with the Christ, who was like, why? So one was with the white this super, like, you know, tight jeans or something, and I literally could see everything, like shape of you. I could see that. I could see everything like on the menu, like seriously. And I was like, madre di Dio. I was like, no, I'm gonna puke. And obviously, like this mocassini, which is like the mocassini of this kind of color, which was like a punch in the eye. And his friend who was short, same awful idea, but the red jeans, super tight also. And I'm like, Lord Jesus Christ. I'm not usually not shitting on anyone. Like, everyone can dress up whatever they think that it's okay for them, but the dress for the body that you have, not for the body and for maybe the age that you have, not for age that you wish and the body that you wish, okay? Like this Peter Pan story, it's just not for me. Like, just white shirt and normal pants, you know. I cannot, I don't want to see how many balls you have there, okay? Just saying, sorry to say that. And then 70 years old, a little bit of dignity. But okay, perfect. Not shading 70 years olds, but just calm down, okay? It's like me wearing a diaper in a public place. I'm not, I don't know, 3 years old, okay? I don't need a pacifier. Let's say like that. Same shit. Okay. Guess what? Guess to whom they are coming? Those two, Don Juan de Marco, to our table. Because with my luck, obviously, I literally choked on the spaghetti that I had. The spaghetti just like blocked here. I'm like, no. Thank God they delayed a little bit. They like came and he's like, oh, this is for you. I'm like, me, thank you. amazing, yay. So we were sitting and there was like literally the situation. I was looking at the watch and I'm like, come on, go. I was like, okay, I have to go to the bathroom. And then I went back to the bathroom and we were like talking like, so how are your grandchildren? I don't know what to ask people who are like, you know, so I try to like, yay, everything is amazing, happiness. I didn't know what to say, literally. I didn't know what to say because like obviously we didn't have anything to say at that point. So 11 strikes, she gets the call. And the call, obviously that girl, she's like, oh my God, your grandma feels bad. And she's like, oh my God, my grandma feels bad. My grandma feels bad. What do we do? I'm like, no, we have to go. We have to go, girl. We have to go now because the grandma is very precious. Let's just go from here. And those guys, they are like, oh, okay, so, oh, your grandma, oh, your grandma, and what she has. I'm like, apparently heart attack. And then they are like, oh, okay, so how old is she? I'm like, same like you. She started to laugh. She started to laugh. Those two got blocked. I'm like, waiter! We pay. And they're like, no, it's okay, we are gonna pay. I'm like, no, you don't pay, it's everything is okay. I understand that in this moment it's no. We gave the money. We started to run. Like, okay, I haven't thought about that situation. Like literally, I just exploded in his face, like same as you. I didn't want it to be disrespectful, but okay. So I just said it, and I'm pretty sorry about it if they like hurt their feelings. But they kind of wanted to just, I think, they thought wrong about my friend, maybe because she was the same age as me, and when the guy's 70 and she like dressed up like 20 years old and wants a 22 years girl in his arms, obviously not everyone fall for this shit, right? So back to the situation, we started to run. Like, I'm a powerlifter, I never do cardio, but that day I think that I literally escaped from that place as it was the last prison in my life. So basically we are going to the car and I start to shout at her like, start the engineer, and we wanted to get into the car and she forgot the keys at the table. I look at her and I'm like, okay, now you go back there and solve that shit by yourself because I'm not going back there. So she's like literally like near to cry. She's like, okay. We didn't have to do that because those guys literally went behind us and they are like, yeah, I think this is yours. I didn't have your phone number, that's why you understand that. And I'm like, oh fuck, now I understand this. He asked her for a phone number and she had to give the phone number. She started to say, no, you give me your phone number. He's like, no, I want to know how the situation with grandma went through. And she's like, which grandma? I'm like, no, fuck. I'm like, Henrietta, your grandma. And she's like, yeah, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I'm so stressed, I don't even know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, yes, she's very stressed, please give us the keys of the car, we are going to the hospital for the grandma. We started the engineer and we started to run for our lives. Literally, those guys, those two poor guys, just like left there behind. And after like some time, she's like, oh my god, he's continued to text me. I'm like, just say to him that the grandma just died and you don't want to go. I don't know, say something. I was desperate as well, because I don't think that guy, his friend, liked me, thank God. But it was just not a thing. I'm sorry, I don't have a thing for 70 years old guys, neither now, okay? But and that's about it. That was my situation from the blind date, which I didn't want it to go, and I was right, because my gut feeling is always right, girl. Okay, so have you ever been at a blind date? Share your experience, if you will. Comment down below, and as usual, follow and subscribe and ring the bell. If you don't ring the bell, jingle bell. See you next time.